Today is Friday, October 15th. Welcome to this edition of Nevada County Now. Today's episode we're talking Commercial Street, Heart of Gold, Officer Rudiger, and more. This episode is brought to you in part by Stiefel Financial, and also the generous donations of viewers like you. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Nevada County Now. I'm your host, Cole Pettit. At this week's Nevada City Council meeting, the council revisited plans to make changes to Commercial Street. This has been an ongoing discussion for some time and could include changes such as permanent outdoor dining and changes to sidewalk width. Let's take a look at the discussion.
So we've been working with Rebecca Kaufman Architecture on this project, and we asked Rebecca to come up with two options with a widened sidewalk area on one side for permanent outdoor dining. And other elements of the plan have not changed since the plan was approved by City Council in November of last year. And then the next step for the project would be to go to Planning Commission in November. And then we would like to go to bid with the project in December so that we can start construction in February.
My understanding, and I'll allow Brian to coincide, is, again, right or wrong, I pushed about the idea of kind of losing the parklet unless we as a new group decided to do so. My understanding was that was partly why Rebecca, and she can speak to that, widened the one side. Instead of bumping the parklet out, we were going to kind of compromise and give space for the parklet table size, shape, capacity, so that we wouldn't lose the seats for those people. But again, I could be very wrong. So I'll throw it back to Brian and Rebecca.
The fundamental aspect, though, is the street, its width, and where it sits. And the street, we were required or requested by the fire department to make a 14-foot wide drive aisle. And given that the use of the street in the last year and a half and the desire to find permanent places for outdoor dining, we decided, or you decided, that the 14-foot was, there was no reason to give the street more space than 14 feet because that was the minimum space that the fire department wanted for delivery, for their protection, for, whatever reasons that they come up with determining their minimum width.
And it does seem like a rushed process. And I do think that there's Brian, it totally makes sense to me that if you're going to do construction between, February and May, that we implement that. And I just want to make sure that it's not too rushed, that we're able to get enough merchant. And yes, thank you, Kathy Wilcox Barnes, a resident input on the needs and desires of the community.
Basically, the street logistically was falling apart. The drainage was falling apart. We have beaten this like a dead horse. No offense to veterinarians and horse owners. But basically, to me, our staff is doing the best job they can with the input that we have given. COVID threw a loop into this. But I look at option number one, the newest iteration versus two. It doesn't have planters. It gives plenty of space. On one side, we never had one merchant complain about inequity with the boardwalk when it was there, ever, back in the day. This has only come up recently as part of the argument.
It's just frequently, it's always going to come down to process for me. I appreciate Ms. Kaufman's comments. I totally, Public Works Director, I totally get you're stuck with the geometry of the street unless you move buildings around you. So the accommodations do have to be made. When I heard the conversations about the 9-foot sidewalks, when I observed that meeting before I was elected, the math didn't work for me. I could see it there was more distance than there was available space. So I knew adjustments would have to occur. For the sake of getting this done, I'm with you. I'd like to get stuff done, and understanding that anytime you're going to dig in the street, it's going to be there for a while, that we need to get this right. So I would just request 30 more days, and Danielle and I meet with the folks and start to work on this, engage anybody in the conversation that wants to be there. That would be what I would ask for.
The council chose to postpone a vote for 30 days with the intention of reaching out to merchants, members of the public, and additional stakeholders to get their feedback on these potential changes. Look for this item to reappear on the agenda after this 30-day period. We had an increase of 156 COVID-19 cases this week, bringing our total to 8,723 confirmed cases. 724 cases are currently active with 9 hospitalizations, and our death toll has increased to 101. The active cases number, however, should be taken with a grain of salt, as a message on the county dashboard reads, due to transmission problems between the 2 state data systems, the active number of cases is inaccurate. Cases continue to be investigated and released from isolation after the recommended time frame. Nevada County Public Health Department staff is working internally with the California Department of Public Health staff to rectify this situation. Joining us with more on the COVID situation, as well as additional news from the county, here's Taylor Wolf, Public Information Officer for the County of Nevada.
Thanks, Cole. For my last Nevada County update on Nevada County Now, I'll share the latest on COVID-19, increasing broadband in Nevada County, 2 land use meetings for South County and Penn Valley on Thursday evening, and reminders to stay fire safe and sign up for Military Appreciation Week in November. COVID transmission in Nevada County has continued to decrease, but with the holiday season coming up and high transmission rates that would put Nevada County in the most restrictive purple tier if it were still in place, COVID precautions such as wearing a mask in public spaces and getting vaccinated are vital tools to continue lowering local transmission. Just over 65% of Nevada County residents are fully vaccinated, and Public Health is partnering with Freed Center for Independent Living to host a vaccine clinic on Wednesday, October 20th and November 17th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Freed's location off Sutton Way in Grass Valley. All 3 vaccines will be available, and Sutton Cinemas will be providing free popcorn to those getting vaccinated. Find where you can make your first, second, or Pfizer booster appointment at myturn.ca.gov or mynevadacounty.com/getvaccinated. This Tuesday, supervisors took a big step towards expanding broadband and shovel-ready projects in Nevada County. A county-wide environmental impact report will be conducted to streamline new broadband projects and put Nevada County first in line for competitive state and federal broadband dollars. Since 2019, supervisors have also awarded over $675,000 grant dollars through the county's Last Mile Grant Program, which was recently recognized by the National Association of Counties as an innovative and effective county program. Nevada County is kicking off the Greater Higgins Area Plan to help guide future development and amenities in the Higgins Corner and Lake of the Pines area of the South County region. Register to participate in our first workshop on Thursday evening at greaterhigginsareaplan.com. The county's Penn Valley Municipal Advisory Council's next meeting is also online Thursday evening for Penn Valley residents who are interested in land use and development issues. Learn more and register at mynevadacounty.com/PVMAC. During the red flag warning this week, the miners' fire in North San Juan prompted evacuation warnings for 2 zones. Remember to stay ready and keep fire safety in mind until our first wedding rain. Wind-driven fires and PG&E public safety power shutoff events are still a possibility. Find more information at readynevadacounty.org. Last but not least, if you are a local business owner, don't forget to consider offering a military or veteran discount during Military Appreciation Week, November 6th through 14th. Participating businesses will be listed online, recognized by local media partners and veterans organizations, and will receive a window sticker to advertise their participation at their business. Find more information and register at mynevadacounty.com/military appreciation. That's it for my Nevada County update. Find all this information and more by subscribing to our weekly county newsletter at mynevadacounty.com/Nevada County News. Thanks for tuning in and have a great weekend.
Thanks, Taylor. Now we'll take a quick moment to hear from Shavati Karki-Pearl, Public Sector Manager for Waste Management, in the WM Minute, where she'll be discussing how long it takes garbage to decompose.
Thank you, Cole, and welcome to the WM Minute. Today I'll be discussing the question, how long does it take garbage to decompose? The increasing volume of waste is concerning because there won't be enough space on Earth to dispose of the waste stream we produce. Different materials decompose at different rates depending upon landfill conditions. It could take up to 20 years for garbage bags made of flimsy plastic to decompose. Rigid plastic like water bottles might take 450 years. Aluminum cans could take up to 200 years in landfills to decompose. And some experts say that glass doesn't decompose at all. Paper is the material that has the largest presence in American landfills by volume. It could take up to 6 weeks to decompose. Food varies in decomposition rates. A banana peel might take a month, while an orange peel could take up to 6 months to decompose. The best way to keep materials from landfills is to choose to recycle whatever we can, purchase items made from recycled materials, and to be mindful while sorting at each of our bins. Thanks for listening. Next time we'll talk about where your trash goes once your cart is picked up by the garbage truck.
Thanks, Shivati. Coming up next month, November 20th, Nevada County will be hosting the Heart of Gold bike race. This race will cover a 55-mile gravel course race through our beautiful county that will help increase awareness and raise funds for mental wellness programs for youth in Nevada County. We caught up with District 5 Supervisor Hardy Bullock, who is serving as the race event chair, to find out more about the race.
Yeah, it's great. The Heart of Gold Gravel, organized by Bike Monkey, a contributor, has put on a number of really great events in Northern California. It's approximately 65 miles, about 7,000 feet of climbing. The race starts and ends here at the Rude Center, and it basically takes off from here, crosses the South Yuba, and then gets up over toward the little town of Washington, then climbs up out of Washington, and then a really beautiful descent down the Pioneer Trail back to here. And it's going to occur on November 20th at 7 a.m. start. It's going to be a mix of riders, anybody who feels like they want to challenge themselves. It's going to be a bucket list for many riders. It's definitely a strenuous event, and every rider will pretty much earn every mile. There's a lot of hill and dale and climbing involved. We hope the weather's nice, but it's going to happen rain or shine. The riders who are going to be out here are serious people that are ready to race on the gravel. The children's race, you can bring the family out. It's not age specific, but essentially it's going to start and end at the Rude Center, go out around Hirschman's Pond, and then come back here, stop, and fun for the whole family. And you can also meet and talk to the riders and the racers that are there present for the finish. This ride is specifically designed to raise money and awareness for teen mental health. So we have regional partners, the partners, Truckee Tahoe Unified School District, Nevada Union High School, Child Advocates of Nevada County, Bright Futures for Youth, and Youth Bicyclists of Nevada County. So we're all coming together to try and raise awareness and raise money. So 100% of the proceeds from this ride are going directly to those charitable organizations. Well, there's quite a bit of organization and planning going into it. You know, we have vendors selling food and beer and T-shirts and things at the event. We hope the riders visit our downtown area, both Grass Valley and Nevada City, when they're done. So if you think about 200 racers coming here with a couple of family members and maybe a few friends, that's a lot of economic impact, and we hope that spreads throughout the community, and we hope we raise awareness for the cause, and so people take that back to their own communities in addition to supporting what we're doing here. heartofgoldgravel.com. There's a volunteer sign-up link in there, and it's really easy. You just pick a time that you want to volunteer, and if you only want to volunteer for an hour, you can go out for an hour. If you'd like to volunteer for half a day, it's about fellowship. You're going to meet other people who like to volunteer. You're going to meet people from Rotary and from the county and from the town and cities, and all these contributors coming together to make it happen. So we look forward to you volunteering and come out and be a part of it with us.
Thanks, Hardy. And again, be sure to visit heartofgoldgravel.com for all the details. At the Grass Valley City Council meeting Tuesday night, the council celebrated the contributions of Canine Officer Rudiger as he moves into retirement. Rudiger has been serving the community as part of the Grass Valley Police Force since August of 2018. Having aged and accrued several injuries, with the advice of medical professionals at UC Davis, the Grass Valley Police Department have decided it is time for his retirement. He will live out his days with his handler, Officer Cloyd, and family, and his medical costs will be covered by the group to whom he lends his name, the Rudiger Foundation. we'll leave you tonight with a montage celebrating Rudiger's career. Before we do that, though, I'd like to inform you about some upcoming changes to this program. Nevada County Now will be getting a facelift and will be going on hiatus for the time being. Look for its return in a few months. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank you for joining us on this ride for the past year and a half. It's truly been an incredible experience. Now back to more important things. Dog pictures. And remember, stay safe, take care of each other. We'll see you around.